everyone, Tom Butwin here for Premier Guitar with another episode of PG Plays, and today we are talking about the StewMac Sun Fuzz pedal kit. That's right, I said kit. We'll get to that in just a second, but first, this pedal is inspired by the analog man's Sun Face, and it really brings you everything you could possibly want from the Fuzz Face circuit. Now, this is a tone, it's a pedal that's almost a requirement for any electric guitar pedal board. It's one of the most iconic, one of the best tones you can get out of pretty much any electric guitar setup. That's why I think everybody needs a fuzz pedal. And this one is very unique in that if you want it, you have to build it. So don't let that turn you off though. It's not that hard. Now, full disclosure, I did not build this pedal. It was sent to me fully assembled, but I did take a look at the very detailed and very interesting instructions that StewMac provides, and I read some reviews and checked out some of their tutorials, and I actually think that it's well within most people, if not all people's grasp, to take a project on like this. So let's take a look at the tone knob first. It was probably the most interesting knob to me on this pedal. I'm gonna go with it full out to begin with and play something similar to the intro. Very cool. Let's go back to about noon on the tone and do the same thing. And we'll roll it all the way off. So let's go over to the fuzz knob. What I noticed about this is that you actually get most of the fuzz effect in the top third of the knob's rotation. Now we'll get to the internal controls in just a few seconds, which can help kind of change how that works. But I have this at about maybe an 8, I would say, which I think is kind of a sweet spot for this pedal. And as with most, if not all fuzz pedals, one of the coolest things you can do is actually roll back the volume on your guitar. I'm going to take it back to about a 7 as opposed to a 10, and you get something like this. And then of course, without touching the pedal, if I go full out on the guitar, you get all the fuzz you have dialed in on the pedal. So the first adjustment you can make from inside of the pedal is what's called their clean trim knob. Now I've got it turned all the way down and I left all the pedal settings on the exterior the same, and this is what you get. That's with the clean trim turned all the way off. Now I'm going to turn it all the way up. Definitely more fuzz. Now I think, as with most knobs on most pedals, somewhere in between those two is the sweet spot. The other thing that clean trim actually does is sort of emulate what I was doing before with the volume knob. It's almost like you're setting it, if you go all the way off with it, it's that rolled off volume knob fuzz tone that we all love, but it's with your volume all the way up and kind of built into the pedal. So again, you can explore that entire sweep, and this is not something you're gonna be changing very often because you have to go into the back of the pedal, but you're gonna find that sweet spot and leave it, I think, for your taste, and it really is cool that you can customize even the fuzz itself down to that level. Now, the second hidden adjustment you have inside the case of the pedal is called the bias. And this really honestly acts more like your traditional tone knob, in my opinion. Right now, I've got it rolled all the way off, and this is what it sounds like. Kind of thick, really meaty. I like it a lot. Now, if I take that and I crank the bias all the way up, this is what you get. As with the other trim switch, somewhere in between I think is really the sweet spot. So this pedal is a really cool take on a classic and just beloved circuit, and not only do you get the pedal, but you get the experience of building it yourself. Like I said, the instructions are really straightforward, the tools that you need are nothing crazy, and you're gonna learn a lot, even just from reading the instructions, honestly, let alone actually building the thing. And you get that satisfaction of being able to play and make music through something that you yourself put your hands on and actually built, and that is super, super cool. So that's been this episode of PG Plays. Once again, my name is Tom Butwin. I do have my own YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Just search me on the internet and you'll find all the things you need to find. And in the meantime, make sure you go and check out all the other incredible content that Premier Guitar has on their channel, as well as in their magazine, both digitally and in print. And we will see you in the next one.